How NASCAR's post-qualifying brawl compares with other fights over the years. Welcome to FTWs, where we provide a detailed breakdown of the latest absurd, funny, and sometimes legitimate controversies and issues within the racing world. Well, by now, the news of NASCAR's latest physical altercation is old. If you paid attention, with NASCAR's new aero package this year, qualifying if different to end. McDowell was it was the first fight of the NASCAR season, so hey, race a little more about the incident and how it compares with past NASCAR fights. A fight broke out during qualifying at Daniel Suarez and Michael McDowell with emotions overflowing. NASCAR on NBC at NASCAR on Suarez qualified 28th. His lowest spot so far in his first season behind the wheel of the number 41 Ford for Stewart-Haas Racing. McDowell was once, while Suarez clearly escalated the situation, both drivers were, without question, both aggressively participating, and it took several crew members to break them up. To the best recollection of this writer, it was 2 years ago with another brief showdown between Joey Logano and Kyle Busch at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. On the last lap, it's a noticeably blip on the radar, but it doesn't quite have the momentum that post-race fights do. But this one has a first. This is the first time we've seen this side of Suarez, who's now in the beginning of his third full-time season. It's always entertaining. Second, this incident gets a boost because Suarez literally threw McDowell to the ground, which is basically an extension of the first reason. But this would also, is it high among the craziest NASCAR fight? Not quite. One of the most famous NASCAR fights in history just had its 40-year anniversary at the Daytona 500. In 1970, when you look at the pure volume of people involved in this post-race brawl, started by Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski, this one from 2014 at Texas Motor Speedway is definitely one of the most outrageous incidents. And even though it was about a month earlier at Charlotte Motor Speedway in 2014, Matt Kenseth chased Keselowski down and nearly tackled him by their haulers. There was also the time Tony Stewart and Joey Logano went at it in 2013 after a race at Auto Club Speedway in California. This is hardly a complete list of NASCAR's top fights, but the one thing these and many others have in common is occurring after the checkered flag, which enhances the circumstances and tempers. The kids got in trouble. Officials called. Suarez and McDowell downplayed the morning meeting, saying NASCAR officials just wanted to ensure the animosity would not spill over to the track practice or during the race. Which, prior to Sunday's race, the fourth of the NASCAR Cup Series season, so far the feuding pair also. Kyle Busch took his first checkered flag of the season for his 199th career win across all three of NASCAR's top series. Suarez finished. McDowell continued downplaying the incident through the weekend. Like, don't. Jeff Gluck at Jeff Gluck. Suarez, on the other hand, gave arguably the best quote of the 2019 season so far with his refusal to back down after the pit road scuffle Friday. I am. The 27-year-old driver might have even scooped up a few new fans with that one. And even after if we could have beat for the point, this wouldn't be my favorite thing of the dia. But we didn't, so here we are. Chase Elliott at Chase Elliott. Two things to take away from qualifying. 1. And didn't send an it. 2. We might want to start Bubba Wallace at Bubba Wallace. I call Daniel as designated bodyguard next vacation. Ryan Blaney at Blaney. We fighting on a Friday? Holla. Brett Griffin at Spotter Brett.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.